so you've used the word genocide. For many, that evokes images of the Holocaust. The phrase from the river to the sea seems to have different meanings for different people. So talk about those two phrases, from the river to the sea. What does that mean to you?
I'll first just tell you about genocide. Genocide is a term that I'm using not as my own independent assessment, but rather a reflection of leading genocide scholars from across the world. These also include Israeli scholars themselves, including Amos Goldberg, Daniel Blatman. And these are the findings also of a number of United Nations experts. And I think the use of that term is one that is a reflection of these facts. And, much has been made earlier. You were referring to it around the question of this phrase of globalize. And there's never been a question of whether I use that language. It's not language that I use. The question that was put to me is, what do I think of others that use that language? What do I think of the phrase itself? And, I had shared the first time that I was asked about this, that I know that there are some who use this as a reference to a call to the end of the Israeli occupation of Palestinian land. And that was what I first shared. And then in the time since then, I also spoke about the fact that when I won the primary, I shared that I knew that millions of New Yorkers care deeply about Israel and Palestine. I'm one of them. And my job in leading the city is to also wrestle deeper with differences of opinion, to reckon with the complexity of the nuance of it. And that means having even more engagement than ever before. And so I've had meetings with rabbis, with Jewish elected officials, Jewish community leaders. And it was in one of those meetings where one rabbi told me that that same phrase was one that brought, for her, memories back of bus bombings in Haifa, of restaurant attacks in Jerusalem. And the phrase left her with a fear that that violence could come home here to New York City. And in hearing that and in wrestling with that and the distance between these two things, I then said that this is language I would discourage. It's language that I would discourage, and what I would always try and refocus the conversation on is to have a language of clarity, which is what I seek to have, about the fact that this is grounded in a belief in universal human rights and that we have to extend that to Palestinians as well.